Hi everyone, Katarina from Bloom and Passion here. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful double Z-fold card with a pocket. This card was inspired by a tutorial made by Sam from Mixed Up Craft a couple of years ago. I really fell in love with it back then, and I made it a lot of times since. And these cards, I made a lot of real personal ones, like decorated with photographs of places or events, the person's favorite items, made them for retirements or special birthdays, anniversaries. I think this is a really versatile card. Now, and because I made them so personal, I know some of the people that got them love to display them on their mantelpiece or on their shelves, but they not necessarily would everyone want to see the messages at the back because they can get real personal sometimes. So I think this is a lovely way of getting around that problem, well, if it's a problem at all, but to add the pocket with a little note card. You can also include photographs on these, or you can add a little notebook onto it that you can open up again. So there's really a lot of ways of going around this. I love adding pockets to my cards anyway. You will see that in the future if you follow my channel. There's some lovely other projects coming up too. For the papers, the paper pad I used was from the range, the Lipsticks Basics. I got this a year ago, maybe, so I'm not sure if it's still available, but it's a beautiful paper pad. I love using it. For the flowers, I used the Paper Craft Society Box 22. It's a sunflower dye, but it just goes to show you how you can change, you know, I just changed the colors of these flowers and they don't look like sunflowers now. They look real quirky, going very well with the black and red and white theme. So yeah, there's more than one ways of using any kits, with me anyway. The sentiment with love from me to you came from this little stamp set from Lee Holland from Crafter's Companion, with love from me to you. It's a beautiful fonts for the writings in there. I love using these stamps. And the little stamp on the note card, it's a beautiful sentiment that says, the most beautiful things in this world cannot be seen or heard but felt from within the heart. Came from a birthday sentiment set, and it's an unbranded one. I got it on eBay, and I'd say about 4 years ago, something like that. So I'm not sure if it's still available. I remember I just searched for birthday sentiments, and this this lovely little stamp set came up, and I ordered it. I love it. Okay, so the measurements of this card are closed up 7 inches by 9 inches plus whatever the decoration is on top of your note card. So with the hearts, the way I glued them on came to 8 1/4 in height by 9 inches. But you can also glue this down lower a bit, you know, so it doesn't have to be 8 1/4 inches tall. But I just thought it was lovely the way they poked out there. I really love this. Custom envelopes or custom boxes I make for all my cards anyway, so it really doesn't bother me. So for the card that I'm making today, I chose one of my favorite paper pads, the Follow the Sun, also from the range. I really love this. I love sunflowers. I love yellow. It's my favorite color. So yeah, I've been using this paper pad quite a lot lately. The patterns I chose to do my card is these sunflowers, the yellow polka dots, and this black and white. Okay, so I've already prepared some of the things that I will need. And to make the base of the card, we will need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 11 1/2 by 7 inches. On the 11 1/2 side, we will score down at 3 1/2 and 5 1/2 inches. And I like to turn it around and score on the other side as well, because this will be folded back and forth, so not all the fold lines will go the same way. Fold and burnish this. and they will go on top of each other like this. I've already added tape on the back of this card. So once I glue it on top, or adhere it to the top, once I adhere it to the top, there will be a little pocket created. If you don't want to do the pocket, just add glue onto the back of all this and just glue it on top of that piece in there. Okay, now we will also need 4 pieces that measure 8.5 by 1 inches, and on the 8.5 inside just score at 5.5 and 7.5. Again, turn around on the other side as well, 5.5 and 7.5. Now, if you want your card like mine have those on the top and on the bottom as well, you will need 4 pieces of these, but you may just choose to use them on the top or on the bottom only. So yeah, I'm going to use 4 pieces again. Okay, now for the mats and layers onto the card, we will need 4 pieces that will go in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And these, the mats to which I chose to use gold paper, I think it goes very well with the yellow, will measure 1 3/4 by 6 3/4, and the layer, the decorative paper, measures 1.5 by 6.5. So we will need 4 pieces of those. We will also need 2 pieces of 3.25 by 4 3/4, and the decorative paper measures 3 by 4.5. Goes onto the sides. In the middle, this one measures 1 3/4 by 4 3/4, and the yellow dotted paper measures 1.5 by 4.5, and it will go onto the top. So we will start with this, and all the measurements will be listed below in the description box. Okay, so what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to take off the Okay, so first I'm going to add these 4 panels onto these bits in here. So once those 4 pieces are properly stuck on, I can start adding these pieces to the card. Okay, so I'm just going to add the button just down to that inch. I don't want to really go below that. Okay. Now, as a next step, I'm going to add glue just to this little square in here. And I'm going to make sure this will be lined up with the top of the card, like so. So, when I'm going to the other end, instead of coming from this side, I'm going to start attaching this in the middle. I will line these up together, and then I will fold everything in. this way I know that everything will line up perfectly. Sometimes the little score lines and all can create a bit of the bulk and then it wouldn't fold in nicely. This way, if I have a little bit of an overhang on this end, I can always just snip it off. So this time I'm starting on this end. I'm going to add a little glue on this square. And I will line it up with the top of the card. Everything folds in nicely, and now I can add my glue to this end. And just fold this on top. Now I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the bottom. I'm going to add. Now this is perfect. If anything overhangs in here, I can always trim it over. This is perfect. Maybe just a wee teeny tiny bit in there. It's literally barely anything. There we go. That's all I had in that. Okay, so now I can glue on these bits onto the two sides and the little one in the middle. Okay. Now to decorate these bits again, we will need 4 pieces that measure the gold bit, the matte, will measure 3/4 of an inches and 5 1/4, and the little decorative paper will measure 1/2 inch by 5 inches on top. So we'll need 4 of those, and we will need 6 of these little ones that will go on these bits here. And this will measure again 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/4, and again 1 1/2 by 1/2 inches. So we will need 6 of those. I have them all prepared in here. Just have to glue them on. Okay, so now everything is nice and dry. Now it's really all down to decorating only. Before I do that, I will show you how I made the little note card to go in the pocket. Okay, so the little sunflowers are poking out, and when you pull it out, it has that lovely stamp detail, the sentiment, happy birthday, and the little foliage, as well as the sunflowers on the top are from the Paper Craft Society book stamp set. So the happy birthday one and this little foliage in here. For the sunflowers, I stamped this twice, colored them in, and fussy cut them. I backed them up on a yellow paper cardstock just to make them nice and sturdy, and I cut them out again. So that's really it. The larger piece, the decorative piece, measures 5 1/4 by 6 3/4, and the white piece of paper will measure 5 by 6 1/2. You can make this a little bit smaller if you wish, but this fits into the pocket perfectly. For the sentiment to go on front of the card, I actually created two. They are both from that exact same stamp set. Okay, so this one is this here, "In a world full of roses, be a sunflower," or "To a special person." I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. I think I'll decide that it's last. First I decorate with the flowers and the buntings, and then I will make a decision which one looks better. But I think this here. Nah, I don't know yet. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the fence onto the bottom. Okay, so for the fence, I just use my own SVG files. I always have a few of these cut out because I love using fences in a lot of my projects, so it's just nice and handy to have them cut out. For this one, I used white cardstock, and I added the Tattered Rose Distress Oxiding, just to add a little bit of a color. I'm going to pop these up on foam pads or foam tape. Now, okay, so to decorate it with these sunflowers, I again used the dies from the Paper Craft Society box. I used these two to create the sunflowers, the larger layers and the smaller ones, and then again to create the smaller ones. And also the leaves and the foliage, I use this here. And the middle of the die also came with the kit. So it's this little die in here. And I just added glossy accents in the middle, and once everything is glued, then I will use my sparkle pen, Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, to add a little bit of a sparkle to the flowers. Okay, so I also have these little bunting pieces cut out that I will glue 5 of them onto each side. They will be just lovely hanging in there, and I will be back once it's all done. Okay. No, so that's it decorated. To get rid of all the annoying hot glue strings there, sometimes you just can't help getting, I like to put my hot glue gun to it. Heat it up very well before you put it to your card, and then it will just very quickly Marco pen. Give it a good shake, and just gonna go around all the yellow petals. Just gonna tighten this down here. Okay, so this is our card ready. Isn't that just beautiful? The lovely sparkle of the flowers and the shine of that gold paper. Just really so cheerful, so happy looking, so elegant. I love it. I really love this card. Now, there's the little note card again, just to remind you all. Okay, and I'm gonna bring in this other card to show you in comparison. This was the black, red and white one with all the hearts and a little note card inside it. So I really love them both. Yellow is my favorite color, so that one has a special place in my heart. But I really love the red one as well. Okay, so I hope you liked this tutorial, guys, and I really hope you give this a go. This is a really beautiful card. Can be customized for so many different occasions, and yeah. I will be back with a new tutorial again soon. Until then, bye! Thanks for watching!